You know, Henry Kissinger called up a columnist for the New York Post. This was about 2 months ago. And he said, I would like for something to be on the front page of your newspaper, a quote from me. She said, okay. Betsy, whatever her name is, you can get the New York Post.
Sure, I saw it.
And he said, in 10 years, Israel will not exist. That's all. That's all he wanted to say. But he wanted to tell the whole world. Because in the Jewish Kabbalah and Talmud, you tell people what you're going to do before you do it. If you're going to murder somebody, you tell them beforehand.
Well, it's like Indians counting coup.
Yeah, that relieves you of the guilt of doing it, according to this theory. So he's saying in 10 years there will be no Israel. What does that mean? They just came out with a new DNA study by Dr. Ilan Elhaik of St. John's Hopkins School of Medicine, one of the most distinguished schools in America. He's Jewish. He says that there is no Jewish people, that all of the Jews in the world came from the Khazars and such. Now, there have been other genetic studies on this. In other words, no one living in Israel today has ancestors who came from Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob.
Except for this. This is the book of Zechariah, chapter 9, verse 6. And a bastard shall dwell in Ashdod, and I will cut off the pride of the Philistines. Barakata Yahweh, Barakata Yahweh Shai, Barakata Yahweh, Barakata Yahweh Shai. Yahweh is the name who the world ignorantly calls God, and Yahweh Shai is his son, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. First and foremost, I want to give all praises and all glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakha Quadash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone who rule well and taught us this truth. They are the true teachers for the nation of Israel on earth today. And salutation to the Akim out there pushing this truth and sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth and risking their life to do so for Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai's sake. I'm Brother Samak from the GMS Miami camp. And the reason why I brought out the book of Zechariah, chapter 9, verse 6, is from the video you watched that I put in post-production, where you clearly have even the heathens saying that those people claiming to be the original biblical Hebrew Israelites are nothing but imposters, are nothing but liars and deceivers, and they have no claim to that land. And that's the reason why Tex Mars said what he said, how Henry Kissinger spoke to a columnist at the New York Post, all right, saying that the statehood of Israel is not going to be around, all right, within 10 years. Because they know that that place is going to be destroyed with fire. Hence the reason why all these wealthy so-called Jews, Jewish imposters, want to be a Jew, they're building bunkers because they know, all right, that they have a short time. So, first let's see, the scriptures clearly said, all right, who are the real Jews of the Bible? All right, because they will be experiencing, all right, certain things in the last days. Revelation 2 and 9. I know thy works and tribulation and poverty, but thou art rich. Right, the real Jews of the Bible, all right, the real Israelites of the scriptures, all right, are in tribulation and poverty. If you look at the so-called Jewish people of today, the Israelis of today, they have their own land. Look at the wealthy, all right, the elite, the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, the DuPonts, the Oppenheimers. They own land, they own countries, they owned all the resources. So how could they be in tribulation and poverty? And then for these low-level Jewish people, they, like I said again, they have their own land. But the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Americans, they don't have their own land where they can conduct their own laws. Everything they have to, everything that's done, it's everything that's dictated, in other words, is done by the so-called white man, Esau, Edom. All right? And one of their descendants, the Amalekites, all right, which are the so-called Jewish people today. All right, they have to go by their laws, their philosophy, all right, democracy. Even if you look at the countries in South America, all right, democracy, where does that go? What is that from? That's all from these Edomites, okay? The wealthy establishment of these of South American countries, they're all Edomites, telling Northern Kingdom how to run their country, and if they don't run it a certain way, then they start sanctioning them. Look at Venezuela, for example. So it goes to prove who are the true, okay, biblical Israelites of in the scriptures, right? They are the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and the Americans. They're not these imposters that are now being exposed by their own kind. All right, their own tongue shall fall upon themselves. But let's finish off. Revelation 2 and 9. I know thy works are tribulation and poverty, but thou art rich. And I know the blasphemy, meaning lies. All right. Let's look up that word blasphemy to get a better understanding. Slander. All right. Evil speaking. Slander. Let's look up that word slander. Because that's exactly what these so-called Jewish people that are walking up today are committing, slander. The action of crime of making a false spoken statement, meaning a lie, damaging to a person's reputation, right? And who do they constantly slander? All right? Who do they constantly slander? The children of Israel. Look, they use their media. All right, with all these stereotypes. So let's go back. I know thy works in tribulation and poverty, but thou art rich. And I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews and are not, but are the synagogue of Satan, right? They are the chief house of Satan. And they're the ones claim to be Jews today. So that goes to show you that, hey, all right, the Bible is real. The scriptures are real. And these imposters are being exposed. So now let's go to how the statehood of Israel was resurrected. Who was behind the Balfour Declaration? All right, this was conducted by man. This was not done by the Most High. All right, this is all done by schemes, lies, deception. This week, Palestinians around the world are making 100 years since the Balfour Declaration was issued on November 2nd, 1917. Right, this article's 2 years ago, but it's good to bring this out, man. All right, to show that, hey, that's why that statehood of Israel is going to be destroyed, because it's built on lies and deception. The Balfour Declaration was a public pledge by Britain declaring its aim to establish a national home for the Jewish people in Palestine. The statement came in the form of a letter from Britain's then Foreign Secretary Arthur Balfour, an Edomite, addressed to Lionel Walter Rothschild, an Amalekite, one of the descendants, okay, of Esau. And if you don't know who the Rothschild is, all right, that's obviously you must have been living underneath a rock, because even a low-level Jake, all right, knows who the Rothschild family is. All right, these are what are the most wealthiest people walking the earth today, and it goes to show you that that statehood of Israel was built on lies, man. These guys were behind it. All right, this Amalekite and this Edomite were behind it, all right? And they're all the same. They're all brethren. A figurehead of the British Jewish community. You see that? All right? And that reminds me of the scripture. Well, I'll get to it. Ezekiel 36, but let me finish this. But the declaration was by no means formulated and decided upon overnight. Rather, it had been in the works for years. That's a conspiracy. Involved many people and was drafted numerous of times before being sent out. You see that? So that reminds me of Ezekiel. It goes to show you, man, that the Bible said that this was going to happen. All right? And that's why the state of Israel is going to be destroyed, because this is all built on lies and deception. Ezekiel 36:5. Therefore, thus saith the Lord power, Yahweh, surely in the fire of my jealousy I have spoken against the residue of the heathen and against all Idumea. Right? Idumea is a Greek word which means Edom. Excuse me, not that one. Edom, red. Edom, Idumean, descendants of Esau. Okay? That's who's in the land today. The heathen, and against all Idumea, which have pointed my land into their possession with the joy of all their heart and with the spiteful minds to cast it out for a prey. Right? And that's the Balfour Declaration in a nutshell. Okay? And that's why you're having all these problems over there. All right, all these the wars and the violence, because the original descendants of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob are not in their homeland. All right, they're scattered throughout the earth, like the scripture said they would be. Verse 6: Prophesy therefore concerning the land of Israel, and say unto the mountains and to the hills, to the rivers and to the valley, thus saith the Lord power, behold, I have spoken in my jealousy and in my fury, because ye have borne the shame of the heathen. Right. So what's ultimately going to happen? A destruction is coming there. Therefore, thus saith the Lord power, I have lifted up my hand, surely the heathen that are about you, they shall bear their shame. Verse 8, but ye, O mountains of Israel, Salakia. The point is right here, verse 7. Therefore, thus saith the Lord power, I have lifted up my hand, surely the heathen that are about you, they shall bear their shame. Right, and that's the shame coming about, man, because now people are realizing that, hey, the original descendants of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the original inhabitants to that land, are not dwelling there. All right, we've been lied to our whole life. You've been lied to in your public schools, in your institutions, your colleges, your universities. All right, when it comes to history, when it comes to the Bible, okay. Because the scriptures clearly said who are the children of Israel, what the conditions they will be living under. Let's go to Zechariah chapter 12, verse 3. And in that day will in that day will I make Jerusalem a burdensome stone for all people. All that burden themselves with it shall be cut in pieces. All the people of the earth be gathered together against it. Right, and that's the reason why you're having nothing but turmoil, nothing but drama, all right, in the Middle East, all right, and abroad, all right. The world's in mourning, everyone's in an uproar, everyone's not happy, is because you're not having the original descendants of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob in their homeland. And until that day happens, you're going to have nothing but chaos and destruction all throughout the earth. All right, that's that burdensome stone for all the people. Let's go to Isaiah 25, verse 7, because now that the prophets are out through the spirit of Yahweh Shem Shai, mainly here at Great Millstone, all right, we're exposing all the lies and deception. All right, we're going into history. Okay, we're going into, all right, historical timepieces like the Balfour Declaration. And now what's happening? Verse Isaiah 25 and 7. And he will destroy in this mountain the face of the covering cast over all people and the veil that is spread over all nation. Right. That's the Lord doing that, using his prophets. Okay. He's destroying all the lies and deception, all the confusion that's going on. All right. Where now people are questioning their own identity. They're questioning their own history that they were told. And this is all done through the spare power of Yahweh Shem Shai. So what's going to happen now to the land of Israel? Well, it's got to get destroyed. All right? So all you imposters dwelling there, all right, live it up because your time's running short. Let's go to Ezekiel 38 and 18. And it shall come to pass at the same time when Gog shall come against the land of Israel, right? Gog is talking about the Russians, right? Thus saith the Lord power, Yahweh, that my fury shall come upon in my face. Verse 19. For in my jealousy and in the fire of my wrath have I spoken, assuring that in that day there shall be a great shaking in the land of Israel, right? Meaning nukes are going to drop on that place. Fire is going to drop on that place. And that's when people are going to realize, wait a minute, those aren't the original descendants of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Right? Those were imposters. A lot of people are going to be shamed in that day when the Lord gets rid of that place with fire. And it has to get rid of with fire, because you have homosexuality running rampant through there. You got Pink City. You got nothing but idol worshiping in there. All right, different gods being worshipped there. You got the chief house of Satan themselves working the left hand side. They're all in pedophilia and child sacrifice. All right, they're into what's known as the Talmud. All right, the Kabbalah. All right, doctrine that they're into, witchcraft. So that place got to get cleansed out. Verse 20. So that the fishes of the sea and the fowls of the heaven and the beasts of the field and all creeping things that creep upon the earth and all men that are upon the face of the earth shall shake at my presence, and the mountains shall be thrown down, meaning the government, and the steep places shall fall, and every wall shall fall to the ground. Right. So that land's going to be cleansed out. All right. That place is going to be hit with thermonuclear fire. And we're coming to it. All right. Right now, you're having tensions between the Israelis and the Russians, where the Israelis are accusing the Russians of messing up their communications, right? The GPS system, when it comes to their airports and the traffic, the air traffic communications. All right, so you're already seeing tensions rising, and this is the times that we're living in, where it's going to be this place is going to be destroyed. Why? Because you Amalekites, who are imposters, the Lord said that He's gonna remember what you did to us. Deuteronomy 25 verse 17. Remember what Amalek did unto thee by the way, when ye were come forth out of Egypt. Right, you were the first nation to attack us. All right, you can go read in the book of Exodus. I believe it's like the 17th chapter. All right, where you went to war with us. Right, and Joshua, all right, had to fight you devils, and he took you down. All right, but you went to war with us because you wouldn't allow us a passage while we were trying to get to our land. All right, so the Lord remembered this all the way up. Remember, you were the first nation to attack us. Deuteronomy 25 and 18. How He met thee by the way and smote the hindmost of thee, even all that were feeble behind thee, and when thou wast faint and weary, and he feared not the Most High. Right, we just got out of Egypt. All right. A lot of the Israelites were, in fear, scared, They were just trying to collect their, everything that they were going through 400 years of hell in Egypt. And then you didn't show no sympathy, man. You didn't show no mercy. And you didn't fear the Most High. Verse 19, therefore shall be when the Lord thy power hath given thee rest from all thy enemies round about, in the land which the Lord thy power giveth thee for inheritance to possess it, that thou shalt blot out the remembrance of Amalek from under heaven, thou shalt not forget it. Right, and when did this happen? All right, this hasn't happened yet. So this is proof that this is a future prophecy, where the descendants of Amalek, all right, which are you so-called Jewish people today, you're going to be blotted out, right? Because you are, all right, your forefathers Esau, Edom, all right? So you could try to, run away from your heritage all you want by lying to the people on this earth, but the Bible already condemns you, and the prophets are bringing us out that the Bible condemns you. So our Lord willing is edifying. Hey, once again, you even have these heathens knowing that Israel's about to be terminated. All right, you already have the prophets waking up, exposing the lies and deception. And these are the times that we're living in, because we're living in the last days. So Lord willing, let's edify. I want to give all praise and glory to Yahweh Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'Hashem, Okakudash. Double honors to the apostle, great millstone who ruled well and taught us the truth. They are the true teachers for the nation Israel on earth today. And salutation to the Akim out there pushing this truth and sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth and risking their life to do so for Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahushai's sake. Love you, brothers. Keep the door and keep the faith. And with that, shalom and a ball. Shalom.